Hi everyone, this is Sray. So for this video, I want to go over kind of stemming off of one of my other videos of when you let friends go, what are some of the things that you could say? Now I just want to start off with, you don't have to say anything. Depending on the friendship, why you feel like you want to let it go, who this person is, whether you know them for your whole life or a few days or a few years, you don't have to say anything. You literally can block them off of everything and never speak to them again. And I say this because it depends on what this person did to you. If they were detrimental to your mental health, why do you need to have a conversation with them to potentially cause another argument? And it all depends on the individual. You know this person more than I do, and I would say if you know that they're going to be volatile, they're going to be verbally abusive, argumentative, and you already at a point where your mental health really is at stake, why do you want to put yourself in that situation again? I don't recommend you to, because you're just going to cause more harm and more trauma for yourself when you really can just leave. You don't have to stay. I know that those of us that want to say something because we feel like there's a mutual respect, if there's some type of concern, like I want to at least give them a reason why I let them go. I get that, and I've done both. I've ghosted people and blocked them, and I have explained myself to some people. And it's a case by case scenario because I feel like some people deserve an explanation and some people don't. And sometimes I just want to hash things out. I just want to be heard and tell people how I feel because I feel hurt by them. Sometimes I don't either because I'm just like, this is not even someone I care about. But I'm gonna give a scenario of like times I haven't, times I didn't. We're gonna start off with this one girl that I met. So I've been trying to make friends off of Bumble BFF, and I've made one really good friend, just kind of one. Another that's more of an acquaintance, but majority of it hasn't really worked out. And this one in particular. So let's see, I met them around October 2023, like fallish time. And there were some red flags, but I kind of just giving it a chance. And then my final, what broke the camel's back was when this person said, we were talking about vacations and they were saying Cancun is for poor people. And as I was talking about going to the islands, and I was just asking like, have you been to the Caribbean or anything? And they decided to tell me that they've never gone to the Caribbean, which is fine. They're like, oh, I just never saw myself going there. I don't really care to. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I didn't really ask why, neither did I care. Different preferences, whatever. And then just like, oh, well, Cancun's for poor people. And I'm like, vacation's a luxury, honey. I didn't like that at all because you're judging someone's finances, you're judging someone's class. Like, what? Going on any vacation is a luxury. For poor people, you can buy a plane ticket, and no, it's not for poor people. If you can buy a plane ticket or get a hotel, how are you poor? What? And even if you are poor, what? Who cares? Why would you bash on a location like that? Like, that really made me upset. But this person, they showed me little red flags here and there, but that was when I was like, no more. The first time we met, I told them I owned a townhouse, and they proceeded to talk about their friend and said, my friend owns a real house. And it's like, excuse me, honey, do you have any property to your name? I don't think so. Real house. I didn't lie about what type of property I owned. So therefore it's like, okay. I let that slide. I probably shouldn't have. Side note, people really show you who they are from the get, and it just gets worse. It's maybe not worse, but like it just gets amplified. Whatever they show you in the initial interaction you meet with them, really nice, really rude, it just multiplies by 3, by 10 eventually over time. And then the second time, this person was talking about their friend, about how much their friend's house was, saying things like, me and my significant other make as much as this one person's income and we can't afford like this amount for the house. And I'm thinking like, why does it matter? Also, they have, and okay, I don't know if that made any sense. Basically, it's like she's trying to say her and her boyfriend make, let's say, $10, and that other couple, the man made $10. It's like, oh, I made just as much as him and we can't afford that house, but also that man that makes $10 also has a wife that also makes $5. So it's like, technically they're still making more than you as a couple, but nonetheless, why are we like ishing on our friends for what they can afford or can't afford? I didn't like that. I don't like talking about people's money, getting angry that they're making some certain move. It's like, why don't you ask them how so you can do it too, instead of sitting here being like, well, I feel like a piece of ish because I can't do it. It's just like, okay, then figure out how to do it if you really feel that upset about it. And it came out of a place of anger. It wasn't a place of curiosity. It was like, oh my God, like I make this much and like I don't think I can afford that. I wonder how I can. If it came out of that place, I wouldn't be so upset. But it came out of a place of judgment, you know, criticizing the other person, being like, well, how can they afford it? I can't. Maybe they're just better at money management than you. And also, if you have a bigger down payment, your monthly payment isn't that high. So, you know, little factors like that. This person was very ignorant. Yeah, and also on top of it, I didn't love that this person would insult their partner. That was like another top off of like, and it wasn't insulting the partner of something they actually did. It was like calling them stupid, calling them dumb, very strange things, saying that they got into college because of the color of their skin. Like, I should have cut that person off right when they said that. But I'm someone who does enjoy friendships, and I kind of am like giving you the benefit of the doubt. But to be quite honest, like, you already showed me who you are. Fast forward to when she said the Cancun comment, I realized like, this is not someone I even want to have a conversation with. I've known her for 4 to 5 months, and you know, we don't talk that regularly. We're not that close. I don't feel like explaining myself to her. I don't owe her anything. She has never done anything for me that's so special. So I just ghosted her. I didn't feel like I needed to explain to her what it was, and I wasn't in a situation where I wanted to tell her what she did wrong so she could fix herself, because that means that I might have to stay to help you fix yourself. And it's like, I don't owe you that. I don't owe you a friendship where I'm bettering you. I don't owe anyone that. So therefore, this was a situation I was like, you know, I'm just gonna ghost them. And it's not like we had a lot of mutual friends. Like I said, I met them off of an app, and I was never gonna run into them again. So I was like, I don't care. Because I thought about it. I thought it about really like a while, and I was like, should I tell them? Should I not? I didn't feel the need to. Now fast forward to another friend that I also met off of this app. As you can see, I was really trying to make friends. But this other person was similar. They showed red flags, and I kept giving it a chance. And the final straw for me was when we were out in the city, and there was it was during the holidays, so there was a lot of people around. And there was this guy who was on his motorcycle on the street driving by, music very loud, you know, fine, whatever, no biggie. But this person decides to say, why would anyone ever be with someone so big? And I was like, okay. And she kept going on and on about how like, I don't know how someone will let themselves go like that. I would never date someone like that. No one asked this girl what she thought of this random person on the street. It wasn't someone we didn't know their name. It was literally someone riding their motorcycle by us, had nothing to do with us, didn't even look at us. And that's what you decide to do in your free time, is criticize his size. And it's like, you don't know if he has a medical condition, A. B, who are you to be saying you'll date him? He has a girl in the back of his motorcycle. He don't want to be with you. He has someone that would be with him the way he looks like. And you're over here criticizing him? For what? What do you get out of that? You know, like, and that was kind of like it for me, because I don't like the nastiness. I don't like it. There's no need for it. It's one thing to like criticize someone who was really mean to you, but this was a random person on the street. no reason to say anything about them. And that's what you choose to do in your free time with your energy. Also, this person has displayed this kind of character when I first met them, but I kind of thought it was like their way of trying to make jokes. I thought it was them being awkward. I thought they didn't know how to socialize. So I was like, let me give this person a chance. Because they also fat shamed someone else, like that was random too. But again, they apologized right away. So I thought maybe they knew what they were doing was wrong. But they don't care. They just like criticizing people. But this person I sent a text to, and I described everything that they did that I didn't like, you know, because I was like, why are you sitting there on your free time criticizing this person's body and their looks and why you wouldn't date them, but you can't even get someone to stay with you and be in a relationship with you, and you're so quote unquote good looking and considered beautiful in society because you're thin, but that's not enough to keep a man. So he looks the way he looks and you can keep a girl on his bike. You can't even keep someone for more than 2 weeks. Like, I really didn't like that. I didn't like that attitude. There's no need for it. I don't like mean girl energy. I'll clap back if you come for me, but I'm not going to attack you for no reason. I don't believe in being mean just to be mean. I don't know why. Why would anyone want to do that? You're obviously bitter and you have some issues inside of you if you're going to pick on just random strangers. And don't get me wrong, like, I will clap back if you come for me, but I don't entertain it. I don't initiate it. I don't initiate arguments if I don't need to. I don't initiate critiquing people if I don't need to. Because why, right? So I described everything about this person, and to be quite honest, I didn't really care to have a full conversation. And I told her, like, this is why I'm going to stop talking to you, and I'm also going to block you. I told them I was going to block them. Just as a disclaimer, I am not trying to give you advice of what is considered healthy communication. I know that probably wasn't, but I don't care. I don't care about keeping it safe, keeping it healthy, saying the right things, and like scripted. Like, I'm gonna tell you how it is. I'm gonna tell you you're being a little B. Like, I'm gonna tell you because you were. You decided to be to that person, so I'm gonna do it to you back because you need to know that's not okay. That's not cute. You're 30 years old acting like this. This is what little girls do in high school and middle school, and you're like grown and you're picking up random people. There was more to it, that I also told her what else I didn't like about her, etc., etc. I won't get into it, but that was like the final straw where I'm like, I don't want to mess with this person. I only knew them for like 3 months, but I was like, if this is what you do to strangers, what are you going to do to me? Like, what are you talking about me behind my back? Because, you know, if you're doing this to someone who does nothing wrong to you, that's how you talk about them. But these are people I've only known for a few months, and I wanted to get out what I had to say toward this person because I was angry. I was angry that this person was being a bully, so I kind of wanted to let her know that you're being a mean girl and this is not okay. Whereas the other person, she wasn't picking at anyone directly, and it was just like more like shady comments. But the other person I just like wasn't as close to, and I just didn't feel like it was worth the argument or worth the conversation or worth the, you know, because it takes energy. You have to sit there and type everything. If you're texting, if you're sitting there for 30 minutes on the phone, you have to explain yourself. That's energy. But I think this person, honestly, I told them off because I was angry. I was angry for what they did, and I didn't think it was justified. I wanted to stand up for that random guy. I don't know him, but neither does she. And if she wants to attack him, I'm going to defend him. Now, let me talk about like friends I've known for years. Because I had a friend that I've known since I was like in the 3rd grade. And I had to let this person go. This person, I did tell them that they were not being a good friend. Because also this person would not stop texting me. They kept texting me to hang out. And I was just like, look, I don't want to be your friend. And you can be as blunt as you want, but I know some people want a nicer way of saying things. You know, if you want to be honest, I suggest being honest and saying like, look, I think that I outgrew this friendship, and you've done certain things to me that hurt me, and I feel like it's just to the point where I don't want to forgive you, or even if I forgive you, I don't want to continue this friendship, because let me just state to you, you don't owe anyone a friendship. Just because someone says sorry doesn't mean that you have to forgive them, accept their apology, and continue the friendship. Let's say you do forgive them and accept their apology. That doesn't mean that you still have to continue on this friendship and give them a second chance. Because think of like people who cheat on you. Like if you're in a relationship with a person, I'm gonna speak in a female point of view. My boyfriend cheated on me, and he apologizes. He buys me all these nice things, and he even cries, and he's depressed now because I don't want to be with him. Okay, you apologize, I accept your apology, but I don't need to give you a second chance because I don't want to, because you already hurt me. I don't owe you anything. Even if you helped me with X, Y, and Z and a million other things. Oh, you're the reason why that like you have all this money or whatever. Like, I don't care what you helped me with. You hurt me. And if I deem it as like enough for me to not want to be in your life, I can make that statement and continue on with it, because my mental health matters more than anything in the world, to be quite honest. Because if my mental health isn't okay, I can't be in this relationship and be functioning. So I want you to keep that in mind if people beg you to stay in their lives and apologize. And when I say beg, I don't mean like on your knees and be like, please be in my life. That might happen, but like there are other times where it's like they keep just trying to reach out and they apologize and they try to be like, well, let's hang out here. Sometimes they might even try to manipulate you to be in a weird conversation that you're forced to be with them, like in the same room as them. I've had that happen and I've seen that happen, and it's a bit strange, and that makes me go away even further. Like if you manipulate a situation where you have to talk to me and you create a scenario that like you're trying to talk to me about something else, and clearly like I can see it, I can see what you're doing, it's gonna turn me off even more, because to be quite honest, you're just manipulating a situation for us to be in the same room or communicate, and you're not letting me move on my own time and my freedom. That's not okay either, and that makes me want to be away from you even more. So therefore, I just don't think that you owe this person a second chance. No one is entitled to a second chance, whether they're family, friends, co-workers, lovers, whoever they are. They're not entitled to a second chance. You don't have to give a second chance. So, you know, it's really up to you to decide if you want to deal with this person, because I know that sometimes if I tell people if I'm upset with them, they're going to try to manipulate the situation to argue why they weren't in the wrong. They won't take any accountability. But it's like, am I looking for an apology? Am I looking to get accountability? Because I'm trying to get this person out of my life. Why do I even care if they're sorry? You know, there's that question too. So therefore you have to think of that. Like, what am I trying to get out of this conversation? If I say sorry, what happens after? But I know that sometimes you need to say something, because you might encounter them again. If it's a coworker, you might have to just like, that's a tricky one. With coworkers, I tend to just distance myself, because it's a professional setting, and then creating some type of argument, you don't know how they're going to twist it and bring it to HR, make it more drama. And I've seen it where they might get angry and try to create more problems with you at work, and you know, you have to go to work. It's very different than just like someone's party. But those are some of the things of how you can approach it. You can just straight up say, I've outgrown this friendship, and if you want to go into details of like why, you can. And you can also just be like, I don't feel like talking about it. I just feel like I outgrew it, and I don't want to continue it. No matter how much you say sorry, no matter how much you want to fix it, I don't want to fix it. I don't want to even sit here and explain it to you, because this is hurting my mental health. I'm already hurt by you as it is. I've already gotten to the point of wanting to let you go, where you've probably hurt me X, Y, and Z ways. Now I need to just finalize it, put the bow on it, and say bye. You don't have to be rude unless you want to be. I don't mind being rude sometimes, depending on the person. And there's really no nice way to cut someone off. You're cutting them off, like it's gonna hurt them, right? But you have to decide on, really, are you looking for closure? Whatever closure means to you. Are you looking for an apology? And if you get that apology, like, what are you gonna do with it? Are you looking for them to apologize so you can fix it and stay? Because to me, if I'm like 100%, 110% sure I don't want them in my life, I don't know what's the point of getting an apology. because I'm not going to forgive them. Or even if I forgive them, I'm not going to want them to be in my life. So why am I getting an apology? I'm leaving them. Like, it doesn't change the fact that I'm leaving. You know what I mean? Whether I get an apology, whether I get an argument, whether I get sorrow or silence, I'm still going to leave them at the bottom line. So it's almost like, what is the point? That's how I kind of try to like think about it. But of course, sometimes with family, it's a little bit different. It's harder because you're gonna have to see them at family events. But then you have to tell them straight up, like, look, I don't enjoy that you were rude to me that one time, and I would really like it if you just left me alone. We can be cordial, but I don't want to be that close to you anymore because you can't avoid them. So, but you want to set your boundaries and set your standard of don't talk to me and I'm not gonna respond to you. You can also just keep not responding and rejecting them. Maybe that might give them a hint of like, you're just done with them. Sometimes that doesn't though. You know, sometimes if you just say you're busy all the time, they'll just be like, okay, you're busy, and they'll keep trying. So you just have to say, I don't want to hang out with you. I don't really like that you did X, Y, and Z, and it doesn't make me feel comfortable to be around you because I don't want a situation for it to repeat itself. And even if, you know, sometimes they'll say, okay, I won't do it again, I won't do it again. That might be true, but you might not believe them, and that's okay too. So you can just say, look, I don't think you fully will change to that degree. And I'm entitled to believing in that. So therefore, please let me be on my own and don't initiate conversations with me. And if you are really scared of confrontation, I have to tell you, you have to, if you really want to talk to them, you have to talk to them and confront them and deal with the uneasy feeling of telling someone, I don't want to be your friend. And then dealing with potential crying, potential, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again, give me another chance. You have to be prepared for that if you feel like you need to tell them something. Or you can ghost them. That's also an option too. It's not an option if you're going to run into them like at family gatherings, group weddings and things like that. Work. So if you feel the need that you have to tell them, just tell them. You don't have to be mean. Being honest does not mean you have to be mean. Just list out the things that you felt like you were done wrong, and be prepared that they're going to try to explain what they did too. Sometimes I don't even want to hear people's explanation, but if I'm gonna tell you, like, I'm gonna use Stacy, I didn't like it when you touched my hair. Stacy, I didn't like it when you used my lipstick without asking me. Stacy, I didn't like it when you took my coffee and like pretend it was yours. If I'm gonna tell Stacy that, I'm gonna realize that Stacy's gonna be like, oh, I thought we were so close, like I've used your lipstick before, so I thought it was okay for me to use without asking. Oh, I'm so sorry, like my friends and I share coffee all the time. I thought that was normal. I thought we were getting close to that degree. You have to be prepared for them to respond and explain why they did what they did. And then therefore you can say, look, I understand that you have your reasons why you did what you did, but that doesn't mean that I want to continue this friendship because I don't find that okay. My standards include X, Y, and Z, and I don't want to give a second chance to this friendship. You don't have to apologize if you're not sorry. I don't believe in apologizing if you're not sorry about something. Like, don't even say I'm sorry if you're not sorry, but just honestly be like, I don't want to continue this friendship. Yeah, to you it might be very little, but to me it does mean something to me, and I don't want to continue it. Period. Say it if they don't understand the period in the text. Say it if they don't understand the pause. Just say it. I know it's easier sometimes to text things out, so if you prefer doing that, you can do that. Yeah, so there's really no cookie cutter of like, how do I gently let someone go? It's never going to be gentle, and it's never going to be nice, because this person obviously probably still wants to be in your life, but you don't want to be in theirs, and it's going to hurt their feelings to some type of way. So you really just have to decide, well, do I want that conversation? Do I want that open-ended, quote unquote, heart-to-heart potential argument? Do I want that for myself? Because you can't go into this thinking you're trying to comfort that other person because you're trying to leave, right? Because if you were trying to comfort them, you wouldn't try to leave. So therefore, you really just have to decide, how do I want to end it? Do I just want to end things and ghost it? and I can handle that? Do I want to end things and be honest? I don't really recommend lying unless this person is endangering your health, mental health in some type of way, and your safety. You know, like if this person is like irrational, and if you tell them how you feel and they're gonna whack you in the head, don't talk to them. Lie if you have to. I don't care. Say that, you know, maybe like don't say like someone died or anything like that, because I believe when you say things like that, it might actually happen. But, you know, make up excuses. Just be like, I'm extremely tired and I don't have time for you, or my body is just so tired nowadays. I've been working out 10 times extra. Yes, you can use excuses. I don't feel like going out during the weekday and I'm so busy on the weekends. I'm taking care of my cat, I'm taking care of my brother, I'm taking care of my family, and I just don't have the time to see you anymore. Because, you know, I believe in being honest, but not when it endangers your mental health. Because, you know, some people might just try to manipulate you and sit there and say things like guilt trip you, basically. And try to make them seem like they're such a good person, and why would you ever remove them out of your life? That's when I think it's appropriate to lie. And that's when I think it's appropriate to manipulate the situation back, because you're prioritizing your mental health. And I don't think manipulation is a bad thing, by the way, because we do it all the time. For example, I turn the lights down and I dim it and I put candles on. I'm manipulating the room to feel calm, right? That's all it is. Manipulation is just a verb. It doesn't automatically mean it's a negative thing. And I'm manipulating the situation so that I can prioritize my mental health and I don't have to deal with you anymore because you're endangering my mental health. I had a coworker actually that was really, really bad for my mental health, to the point where every time I was stressed because of her, I'd bite my cheek, and I literally have like a jaw popping problem now. And she would just, even when she moved away to a different department, she kept messaging me, not about work, about like random things, and I just stopped replying. I don't know why she wanted to keep the connection. I guess she thought we were friends, but she was not good for me. But the thing is, I didn't want to cause conflict, because what if I ran into her again in a professional setting? So, you know, I'm all for standing up for yourself, but you have to be careful, because some people really may retaliate. You don't know what this person will do if you run into them again, and if they're in a position of power, how they'll make your life a living hell, basically. I don't believe in just like being a coward, if you want to call it, but at the same time, you have to be strategic about it and also understand who to call out and who not to call out, because you don't want this to come back and bite you in the ass one day, because they're in a position that you might need to apply. Like, what if they're going to be your boss one day? You don't know. Me responding was the most neutral thing I could do. Me not responding, because, you know, if she ever brings it up, I can say, oh, I just didn't see your messages. I forgot. I was busy at work. If she watches this video, obviously she'll know it's about her, but I don't think she'll watch this video. But anywho, but it keeps me away from them, right? Like it's clear I don't want to be around you. And I also didn't believe in keeping the connection for networking purposes, because this person literally was detrimental to my mental health. She was causing me a lot of pain mentally, a lot of problems. I would cry sometimes because of her, because of how much she would do. I won't get into detail because it's not that important, but what I'm trying to say is that in a work setting, it's definitely a little bit more difficult, and I would see her retaliate towards other people and make it harder for them when they would, you know, rebuttal and say, I don't like that you did X, Y, and Z. She would never take the criticism well. She would, when she would work with you, she'll like make it harder. She'll make you run in obstacles just to get one thing done. So therefore I knew who I was dealing with, and I knew that me standing up for myself wouldn't matter. Like, I know we try to push that on each other and be like, you got to stand up for yourself and justice and la la la, but you got to know what battles you're going to win and what battles you're not going to win. And I had to deal with this person a lot, so therefore I knew that she was going to manipulate the situation to make my job harder, and I didn't need that. And I've seen her do it to other people, so why wouldn't she do that to me? And I'm not trying to say like be a kiss ass, but keep it as neutral, as do whatever you need to do to make it neutral, right? So that they're not making your job harder, and you de-escalate the situation as much as you can. So I think that hopefully gives an idea, and again, it's like a case-by-case scenario of what are you looking for to get out of that conversation if you were to talk to them. Do you think you'll get anything valuable out of it? And again, if you're getting an apology, does that really make you feel better? If it does, great, good for you. But to me, it doesn't, because I'm still gonna cut you off, so I don't really care what you say. So then it's like you don't matter to me at this point anyways. And if I am gonna talk to you, I'm most likely trying to fix things. That's how I see things. If I'm trying to tell you what you did wrong, I want you to be in my life and I want you to fix it, and that's why I'm even bringing it up. I'm not doing it to cut you off, I'm doing it to fix a problem. But if it leads to cutting off because you're angry at me, then so be it. To be quite honest, I do it when I'm mad. I do it when I want to get it off my chest and tell you you're wrong, so I can say F you and go away. I don't care. I don't care how petty that seems. It's a case-by-case scenario, and you have to decide what is worth it for you or not. And I know we're trying to be nice, and I know we're trying to be the bigger person, but sometimes we're not, and that's okay. I don't care, because you need to hear it. You need to hear that you're being a nasty person, and I'm gonna tell you. And you're gonna hear it from me in a very aggressive way. I don't care. And sometimes you're just not worth it. You're not worth it. And sometimes, because of our situation, such as maybe you're an in-law and I can't avoid you, I will try to make it as neutral as possible, so that you don't make my life worse, and it's not always awkward and I just have to fake it. Or because we work together, I just have to fake it. But that doesn't mean I want to hang out with you outside of work, and that's it. And I'm not going to be there for you in a personal setting. I'll be there for you if there's a project deadline or something like that, but that's the only thing that ties us, right? So again, case by case, who is this person to you? Do you have to keep seeing them? If you do, will they retaliate? Or will they probably work things out with you? Or are they going to be mature enough like you are and be like, you know what, we can be cordial, it's cool. It's very rare that this person might be like this, because if you're cutting them off, I'm assuming it's for a volatile reason, and this person is possibly emotional, or manipulative, or something like that. So it's rare for someone to be mature enough to be like, yeah, we can be cool and I just won't F with you that much. That's rare, but it would be nice if that's the case. And if you feel like this person could be that, then of course just be honest with them, because that's easy, right? If you guys have any other questions of anything I said, you can drop it down in the comments, and then I can make another video to answer a little bit further. But that's kind of an overview of how I let people go and how I've decided to let people go, and depending on who it is. I hope you guys have a nice day. Thank you for joining. Bye.